Ms Adamson.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. Can I thank Colin Beattie for his work on the cross-party group and for bringing this important debate to the Parliament this evening, and for all the contributions across the Chamber this evening. I first learned about the Holodomor from my good friend and former MSP, Stefan Timkiewicz. To the best of my knowledge at that time, Steph was my only Ukrainian friend. But I now have many Ukrainian friends. And I want to thank the diaspora of the Ukrainian people, many of whom who are in the gallery this evening, for about 6 years ago bringing the Holodomor to the Parliament in an exhibition at one of our exhibition spaces in the Parliament, and to inform and help MSPs understand about what had happened to their family and what had happened to their country. And given some of the comments about raising awareness, I think maybe it's time we had that exhibition back, and I would be more than happy to work with them in ensuring that that happens sometime soon. Around that time, I visited Canada and the United States, and I was lucky enough to go with the presiding officer, Kim McIntosh, at that time, to the Ukrainian Museum of Human Rights. It's the first museum in the world that's solely dedicated to evolution, celebration and the future of human rights, and it's a profound experience. It has a gallery called the Breaking the Silence Gallery, and it has exhibitions commemorating and remembering and informing people about the genocides of the world. And the Holodomor was included there because, of course, Canada recognises the Holodomor as a genocide, as the UK should. It's been mentioned it's been a very impactful day in the Parliament today, with thinking about Palestine and Gaza, and I'm praying that they don't end up on that floor, on that gallery, and that something can be done to bring peace there too. The Breaking the Silence Gallery includes a 10-minute film showing footage from the Ukraine at the time, including some of the propaganda posters from the Soviets denying there was any problem in the Ukraine. Colin Beattie has laid out the situation around that very well this evening, but I think we must thank journalists such as Malcolm Muggeridge, who then worked for the Manchester Guardian, who at great risk to himself defied the Soviets, went into the Ukraine and brought back real reports about what was happening on the ground there. It was a real testimony to what was happening in the Ukraine. Unfortunately, that didn't suit some of the political systems here at the time, and the Soviets were still moving towards being considered allies after World War II. Many, many people here denied what happened in the Holodomor, but we should not today. I mentioned my friends from the Ukrainian diaspora. I know many of Stefan's family now, and I was very pleased to host a Ukrainian Institute exhibition showing how the current conflict is trying to destroy every part of Ukrainian culture, from theatres, from churches, and from trying to stop the language being spoken. I also took part in the Culture Summit a few years ago with Jonathan Mills on a special Ukrainian day. And funnily enough, dropping into my inbox was friends from the Ukrainian Institute inviting me to a conference on cultural diplomacy in early December. And I want to ask the Minister this evening, we talked a lot at that time about what Scotland could do to preserve and help Ukrainian culture. And I would ask her this evening to consider and talk with me about how we might take our culture to the Ukraine and bring more of it here. I have many friends in the displaced Ukrainian community here too, some from the Ukrainian Freedom Ballet, some who we met when our committee was doing work with the displaced Ukrainians, and those who are settled and very welcome in my constituency at home. But it's really nearly 2 years since the Russian atrocities started. But tonight I just want to say to our friends in the gallery, Ukrainians' glory has not yet perished, nor her freedom. Upon us, brother Ukrainians, fate shall smile once more. Our enemies will vanish like dew in the morning sun, and we too shall rule, brothers, in a free land of our own. Slava Ukraini.